see if I can do this. Like it actually.
Yeah, it says recording now. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started just because we want to be respectful of your time, but we definitely want to be respectful of our guest speaker tonight. So we're so excited to have the first week of our 90-day run-through summer under our belt. We're so excited to have all of you, and I started my one-on-one calls today, and I got to spend so much time just talking to amazing individuals, and Alicia has some coming up tomorrow, and so we'll get to talk to every single one of you. But tonight, first and foremost, just to kick this off, Alicia and I, since we hit NMD, we have been blessed to be coached by Miss Jenni Byrd Grier, and she is the daughter of the famous David Byrd that we all think so highly of. Jenni brings so much to our business, so much love and so much just desire for us to succeed and to really just with us as women and as moms. And so Alicia and I for sure relate to her so much. So we are going to hand it over to her, and we're going to let her share some of her this advice for us, and then we will move on to some details that we want to cover tonight. So go ahead, Jenni.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm going to ask everybody one more time if everybody would mute. We're still getting a lot of background noise while Stacy was talking. So if you haven't muted, mute. So guys, I'm excited to be here, and I am even more excited that y'all are doing a 90-day run. I mean, I absolutely just adore working with Stacy and Alicia because it's like we can brainstorm about something, and the minute we do, I mean, they're like on it. They've made it 10 times better, and by the next phone call, they're like, we've done it. And I'm like, wow. I mean, not everybody does that. So y'all are blessed to have great leaders in them. But man, let me tell you why I'm excited about you're doing a 90-day run. I mean, there is a psychology behind a 90-day run. 90-day runs are just that. I mean, they're quick little sprints. You say, okay, for this period of time, I'm going to commit to this. And, you know, I love that they have the KPIs that they have implemented for you guys. And, you know, it's not about perfection. It's about getting a little bit better each day. So it is about achievement. Achievement is about getting a little bit better each day. So tonight I want to talk to you about two things. One, I feel like I can't do a team call and talk about a system of personal management. So I'm going to touch on that briefly. But then I'm going to talk to you about a little thing that I've kind of put together called maximizing your NLC points. And I think this will be really helpful for you guys as you start your 90-day run. But I encourage all of you, if you're not, to be using a system of personal management. You know, we all have natural human instincts. We all have self-imposed limitations. And it truly does take you committing to a system of personal management to get to your next level. A system of personal management helps you make effective choices. And your long-term achievement depends 100% on the quality of your choices on a moment-by-moment basis. Let's think about that. I'm going to say that again. Your long-term success and achievement depends 100% on the quality of your choices on a moment-by-moment basis. A lot of us say today, I am an NMD, right? We have that desire. And then tomorrow we wake up and say, I really don't feel like working, right? So when our thinking and our speaking and our actions don't align with our affirmation, that is where things kind of get a little confusing. What we have to really do is making sure we're aligning our thinking, our speaking, and our doing with our state of being. And a system of personal management is going to keep you in that proactive thought. It is going to keep you proactively choosing where you want to spend your time each day. You know, a lot of us instinctively, we react to our day. Have you ever woken up and one day, whether you're going into an office or whether you're doing Miriam full time, you wake up and you start answering emails and phone calls and voicemails and go to meetings. And the next thing you know, you look up and it's 4 o'clock. And you're like, I mean, some of you might even still be sitting in your pajamas, right? And you looked up and it's 4 o'clock and you're like, oh my gosh, where is the day gone? That's not a bad day. All of us have days like that. But that is also called living reactively. And so what I want you guys to do is to start proactively choosing how you want to spend those hours. For example, if you still have a full-time job and you're doing Miriam on the side, you may only have an hour a day to invest in Miriam. And I want you proactively deciding where you're going to spend that hour, where and how you're going to spend that hour. And the system we teach is called the Next Level Achievement System. It is designed to work at your own pace. It teaches you how to write a 5-year vision statement, how to plan tomorrow before tomorrow begins. So both Alicia and Stacy are Golden Key earners, which means they have mastered the habits and behaviors of the Next Level Achievement System and can be great resources for you guys. So enough about that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I do encourage you to all commit to that system, because we know instinctively we are not encouraged to grow to new levels. Instinctively, we are encouraged to stay right where we are. It's called a comfort zone for a reason. And we know success does not rest in your comfort zone. So with that, tonight I also want to talk to you about something I've nicknamed called maximizing your NLC points. And I nicknamed it this because I kept having even NMDs say to me, oh, well, I need 2 more NLC points. I'm going to go out and get me some PCs. Or somebody would say, this month I'm focused on getting me some brand partners. And it really got me thinking, why are we proactively deciding, oh, I'm going to recruit a PC or I'm going to recruit a brand partner? I think if you get really good at these 3 steps, you will maximize your NLC points, and you will get PCs along the way, and you will also get brand partners.
Guys, make sure you're muted, please. Someone's really excited about your.
There's lots of noise going on. There's something crazy happening, so let's make sure we mute. Okay. So number 1, sampling. Make sure you are setting a goal each week around sampling. It's the most important activity you can be in. Y'all know this. We have phenomenal products. Lead with the product. Okay, but there's 2 components that go with sampling. Number 1, track your prospects. Now, so that means for every bottle you hand out, I want you to write down. You got to track your prospects. Now, we have created prospect tracking sheets for the Achievement Planner. You can purchase those on our website at davidbirdconsulting.com. You know, I don't care how you track, but I'm telling you this, Post-it notes do not count as tracking. So, if that is your form of tracking, I'm now telling you, you need to choose a new form of tracking, right? Post-it notes do not count. So, what I want you guys to do is you can track it in your Achievement Planner using the prospect tracking forms. You can do, I mean, whatever you want to do, but you need to at least write down their name, their contact info, the date you exposed them or the date you gave them a sample, the date you followed up, and their status. So as a part of that step 1, setting a goal, sampling every week, track your prospects. Guys, it's really important. I promise you, our brains were not designed to be to-do lists. And it is very freeing when you write things down, because you are freeing your mind from being a to-do list, and our brains were designed for creative thought and problem solving. So the first component of sampling is track your prospects. The second component of tracking is before and after pictures. Okay, those are so vitally important. And why? Because they create belief. That is ultimately what you're trying to do in the sales cycle. So as much as you can, get those before and after pictures, because they almost do the selling for you. They create the belief. So that's step 1. All around sampling. And I have a pretty good feeling most people are doing pretty good at that. I'm not sure everybody's tracking their prospects. Some are falling through the cracks, but I think people are doing pretty good at sampling. I think where it's really starting to fall off is steps 2 and 3. Step 2, use their belief in one product to be a bridge to a second product. So for example, the bridge between the eye serum and the night cream, that's pretty transparent, right? But I think there's also a bridge between the eye serum and EHT. You know, that eye serum is so amazing because you can put it on your eyes, and within 60 seconds, people see a change. And all of a sudden their belief is through the roof. You know, seeing is believing. You know, I think when their belief is that high, that's when you could say, you know what? We have one other product we've partnered with Signum on, and it's a brain supplement. Imagine if our eye serum does this to your eyes, imagine what our brain supplement does to your brain. Now, I think you need to give them the caveat that they're not going to feel changes in 60 seconds. I mean, you don't want to lead them down that path. But always use, in that moment when their belief is really high, when they've seen their before or after picture, use that moment to use their belief in one product to be a bridge to a second product. And then 3, always close with the business opportunity. Guys, if you aren't doing number 3, you're making the decision for that person whether they're interested in this business. And I hear it all the time. People say, oh, I just don't want to be the pushy salesman, or oh, this makes me so nervous. I want you to get really good at one sentence. And you can tweak this however you see fit. One sentence. And that sentence should be, you know, I'm really excited you love the eye serum. But, you know, I have to tell you, there's also a great business opportunity that goes with this. And I would love to tell you more about it if you're interested. That's it. No one is going to think you're the pushy salesman from that one sentence. So, guys, I challenge you, when you go out and you're doing your 90-day run, let's quit thinking, oh, I'm going to recruit a PC or I'm going to recruit a brand partner. I want you to get really good at these 3 steps. And when you get really good at these 3 steps, you're going to get some PCs along the way, and you're going to get some brand partners along the way. So I want to make sure we leave some time. I don't know, Alicia, if we want to open it up now for Alicia and Stacy, if we want to open it up now for questions, but I'd love to have a few minutes and can take some questions. I'd love to answer any questions. If anybody has a question on the next level achievement system or these 3 steps I just spoke about, but I just have to say, man, congratulations on your 90-day run. I can't, you know, this means y'all are going to be running into conference, and hopefully I'll get a chance to be with you guys at conference to celebrate with you, because I am so excited you're doing this 90-day run. I mean, it's just awesome. So I want you to go ahead and in your mind, I want you to visualize what it's going to feel like when you complete this 90-day run at the end of August. Every day, I want you to be mindful of that. Don't be mindful of, oh, I don't know if I really want to go create that exposure or go do that sample. Be mindful of how it's going to feel at the end of August when you've completed the 90-day run. And that'll keep you focused on the right things. So with that, Alicia and Stacy, do we have time for a few questions?
Absolutely. So we'll open it up. If you guys have questions, you can unmute yourself one at a time, and then we'll, you know, give Jenny that opportunity, or your opportunity to ask your questions to Jenny, and then we'll finish up after, because I know she's got another call that she has to jump on. She's a busy lady. And then we'll go ahead and finish up with just some basic 90-day runs. This is our first call, first kickoff. We want to go over a couple things with you guys before we jump off. So does anyone want to start with a question that they have?
I have a question.
Sure.
Can you repeat the sentence you said, the closing sentence for the opportunity?
Yes. Okay, so when somebody's interested in the eye serum or the night cream, just say, hey, I'm so excited you love this product. And say, I just have to tell you, there's also a great business opportunity that goes along with these products. If you're interested, I'd love to tell you more.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Okay, anyone else? I love that line, by the way.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Do you have any advice to give potential other brand partners that get to the end of the month and maybe are that one NLC point short, and you see their confidence go down a little bit, or is there any advice you could give?
Yeah, one thing I would encourage everybody to do, and this is a part of the next level achievement system, is the first step is write your 5-year vision statement. Now, your 5-year vision statement is you dreaming about your life, a day in your life, 5 years in the future. and you're dreaming about exactly, if you were Cinderella's fairy godmother and you had her magic wand, you were dreaming about your life, a day in your life, 5 years in the future. If you guys haven't done that, I encourage all of you to do that, because even psychologists say we have a tendency to move in the direction of our expectations. So with no future expectations, we have no anchor into our future. And you know, guys, you're going to have some up months and you're going to have some down months. And it's not always about going up. It's not going to be a steady trend line up. What it's about is over a period of time, getting a little bit better each day. But the reason I say start with vision, because so many people, I mean, let's be honest, when was the last time you caught yourself daydreaming? Really? Probably never. We don't have time to daydream, right? And we've been discouraged from using our imagination since about after kindergarten. And I truly believe we were the only part of creation that was given the gift of imagination. So I would encourage them to think about where they want to be in 5 years. And it's not about just 1 month. It's about achievement is about a little bit better each month over a period of time.
I have a question.
Yes.
What did you just say last where you said with no future expectations there is?
No anchor. It's no anchor pulling you into your future.
Okay.
But yes, studies have been shown that we have a tendency to move in the direction of your expectations. Now, this is not goal setting. This is not where you're saying, okay, I'm setting attainable goals and I'm going to make sure I can achieve it. But I promise you, when you write a vision statement and in about 3 years, you start realizing you've achieved some things on that vision statement, it's really pretty powerful. And I kept the same vision statement for 4 years. I mean, I was getting closer, but I had not realized anything. And then all of a sudden I had a big shift and it was time to go write a new vision statement. And that was a powerful moment.
Awesome. All right, does anyone else have anything they would like to ask Jenni? These have been awesome questions. Anyone? We're so blessed we get to talk to her every month, so we just talked to her this week. Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for jumping on and leading this call tonight, because I'm telling you, I just talked to you about the same exact thing, what, 4 days ago? And I still took a whole page of notes.
Well, I'll tell you that, Alicia, there's something powerful in that. And I know you're recording this.
Yes.
You know, there really is something called spaced repetitious learning. So all of you on this 90-day run, I encourage you to listen to this call about 5 to 6 more times over the next week. And I know you might think that sounds crazy, but you will hear something different on day 5 that you did not hear today. So I encourage you all to get the recording and to listen to this call several more times, because it's a belief, spaced repetitious learning. We hear something different every time we hear it.
Oh, I truly believe that. Seriously, I mean, guys, Stacey and I had this exact same conversation, literally, like 4 days ago. So I truly believe that, and that's not something I would have ever even thought about or realized until Miriam. So this is, again, our training with Jenni every month that call is one of my favorite hours in my entire month. And I know Stacey feels the exact same way. So we are super blessed that she was able to join us tonight. So thank you so much.
You are welcome. You are welcome. Well, listen, guys, you go after it. I truly believe everybody on this call and all of us, you have more potential in you than you can possibly use up in an entire lifetime. So I challenge you to stop believing in any limiting beliefs you have of yourself and just go for it, because I know you can do it. And I'm so excited and cannot wait to hear about your success on the 90-day run. So guys, thanks for having me, and I'm going to turn it back over to Stacey.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Okay, now I have tears in my eyes because she finishes with that. So I'm telling you guys, like, it's just a powerful hour when I talk to her typically. So, well, I'm so excited. I did not realize I'm having a couple messages come through that we don't have some people on here because I swore we had space for 100 and we only have space for 50. So clearly I need to up my Zoom membership. So I don't know what's going on. So I'm glad I'm taping this because we have some that totally missed that, and that makes me sad. So I really just want to thank you guys for being here, truly. Summer, I have 4 kids at home. Stacy's got 4 kids at home. We all have, it's just a crazy time. And this run is going to allow us all, including myself, including Stacy, I'm not speaking for her, it's going to allow us all to stay focused and really hone in on the activities that are going to grow our business. It's inevitable. If you commit to this run for 90 days, guys, that's 3 months. We can do anything for 90 days. We can do anything for 3 months. At the end, you will look back and you may not have this, you may not have 20 teammates. You may not even have 5 teammates, but you will have a business that is growing and moving in the direction. Because if you're not, the classic David Byrd quote is, if you're not moving forward, then you're declining. And this run is going to allow you to move forward. Okay. And I think many of you are also on that Class A, part of this Class A Academy, which the first call was released today. And it's pretty awesome. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that, I highly encourage you to do so and get us your code at the end of it. So email Stacy and I. But when you pair this 90-day run with that Class A Academy, there is no way, shape, or form that your business will not be growing in September, by September. Okay. So I really just want to go over pretty quickly about the KPIs, or the activities that we have listed. Stacey and I put a lot of thought into these. Some are the same, some are different than the last run. If you joined us starting in January, we picked these for different reasons. We also worked with Jenni specifically about these KPIs. So if you were on the last run, we had different levels. So each level we had like a silver, it was bronze, silver, and gold. And of course it went from, smaller activities all the way up to larger. But this run, we just did a basic blanket run. And so we're going to do, every month, we're going to ask you to attend, as part of your KPIs, 3 market parties. That's what the MP stands for, is market party. Or RRP, which is a real results party, with a guest. You need to bring a guest in order for it to count, okay? Or you can do a sit down, a one-on-one sit down, where you discuss the product, you discuss the business opportunity, and as Jenni mentioned, and Coach just mentioned, that you lead with the product, but you close with the business, okay? So you could do 3 sit downs a month. You can do a combination of all 3 or 2 of them. It doesn't matter. Just do 3 of them in a month for it to be 100, counted as 100%. We also want you to have 2 bottles out at all times. Goes back to what Jenni just coached on sampling. Okay, you lead with the product. If you have bottles in your house, you are doing your business a disservice. Those are your employees. So if they're not out sampling, then you're not building a business.
He doesn't get off till 9.
Can you guys, can you mute yourself, whoever? But if you have bottles in your house, then you're not building a business, guys. So never have product in your house. I try, as soon as I get a bottle in, I have another, it's a moving bottle, okay? So as soon as it comes in, it's going back out. If I have a sampler that's loving the product, then guess what? Do you have another friend that would want to try it? Okay, it's not coming, it's a constant moving bottle. So 2 samples out at all times. On the KPIs, it says PD, that's personal development. For those that are newer with us, we ask that you do personal development 5 times a week for a minimum of 10 minutes each time. I am personally, if you would like, I'm personally reading right now. I was going to bring it with me. I don't have it with me. The Color Personalities for MLM, for multi-level marketing. It's a really great book and talks about a lot about recruiting and how to approach people with different personalities and to determine what kind of personalities they have. It's really interesting. If you're newer, I would personally start with a Slight Edge. It comes in your kit. Well, hi Elsa. That is that's the book that I would be starting with. I've read that multiple times. There are plenty of amazing personal development books out there. If you need help choosing one, then please reach out to us, and we can give you some recommendations based off of what you're looking for. So I've had a lot of questions about phone off 1 time a week. The reason that we chose this is because, I'll be honest with you guys, this has been a personal goal for me for months. I'm not very good about setting boundaries, and so I'm working really, really hard at setting them. And so this is something that I have personally been working on when it came to, it started out for me as turning my phone off 1 day a week for an hour. And then it was 2 hours. And then it was 3 hours. And then it got to be like half a day. And so this has been baby steps for me. But I think it's very, very, very important for us to disconnect for a period of time. And for this run, we did a 5-hour time span, 1 time a week. It doesn't have to, I set a time. It doesn't have to be in the evenings. If that doesn't work for your family situation, then by all means, please pick a time frame on a Sunday afternoon or whatever you want to do. But just pick a 5-hour time frame that you can just disconnect, engage with your family, engage with your friends, be present. Actually, my husband, last month I actually did it 2 times a week last month, and my husband made a comment and said, I really noticed you were really engaged at the kids' sports or whatever it was. And so that hit home to me. See, try not to cry. I'm a crier. I really need to stop being so emotional. Maybe I should set that as a goal. Just kidding. So I really, this is something that's really important to me, and it should be for you as well. Okay. I don't want Miriam. I don't want your life to revolve around Miriam. I want you to fit Miriam into your life. But I also want you to spend time with your family. Okay. So that's where that comes into play. I mean, you guys, I can't even tell you how many messages I got. You really want me to turn my phone off? Yes, I really want you to, you don't have to turn it off, but I want you to put it in silent mode. I want you to put it in a drawer, whatever. You can lay it on your nightstand and be downstairs. I don't care what you do. Just disconnect. Okay, that's all this is. That's all it is. Don't overthink it. And NLC qualified, obviously you are or you aren't at this point. If you are in the month ahead club, then just report 5 for this month because you are technically then NLC qualified for June. If you are not and you're working towards being NLC qualified, which we all want to be NLC qualified, you'd be crazy if you didn't. If you have like 1 point for June, then report 1 point. Does that make sense for everyone? Okay. But again, if you are already NLC qualified, just report 5. I'm NLC qualified, be done.
Can I add to that? So just if you were in the month ahead club and you had 10 points coming into June, or you are already there, if you're starting to rack up points for July, which is outstanding, you don't need to report that to us. Just let us know you have 5 for June.
Okay.
Because if we start putting in different numbers, it's not going to help us because the tracker's not up yet. We want to be able to help work individually with those who might be 1 point away, come the 23rd or, later in the month. So that will help us if we all report consistently.
Okay. The one-on-one signups, Stacy started one-on-ones today. I start tomorrow. We have a ton scheduled this week. So if you haven't signed up, please do, because we really did open up we sat here last Friday and opened up our calendars and tried, fit in as many as we possibly could before we leave. Because when we leave on Sunday, then by the time we get home, it's almost the 20th of the month. And so I would really love to touch base with everyone that I possibly can. And I know Stacy feels the same way before we leave. And that way we can set some goals and some action steps. Obviously you have this run and you have activities that you should be doing on a daily basis. But at least it can start setting your goals now before we leave and not waiting until the 20th of the month. So if you haven't signed up, please do. And trying to think what else. And she did touch on this a little bit too. Jenni did, but when we track our goals, and if you were part of the 90-day run the last time, then you will know a little bit about that. You will know about this, but when at the end of the month, when we look at your numbers, we want you to hit 70%. Okay, we're not asking for perfection, like she said. We're not asking for you to hit 100%. We're asking for 70%. That's part of the David Byrd achievement system. When we set our goals, we hit, there were some months, guys, that I hit 70%. There's been a month where I hit 68. That April was a killer month for me. So I hit 68% of my goals that month. And that's okay. That's going to happen. But for this run specifically, you want to hit 70% or higher. We are going to celebrate 70% the same way we're going to celebrate 100 because it's the same. Okay. The last run, if you didn't hit 70%, we let you kind of stay going, and then we worked with you specifically. This run, we're going to be a little harder, sorry, but there will be an incentive. The incentive obviously is an amazing business, but we're also going to incentivize you as well at the end. We have not chatted about what that's going to be yet. We will, I promise. It will be worth it. But at 70, if you hit below 70%, we will work with you individually. But as part of the run, that is the incentive to keep going to the next month. Okay, so you really, really, really want to focus on your goals. What are the activities that are going to get you there? Obviously sampling, obviously doing those sit downs, but really hone in on what are those activities that are going to get you to 70% or higher for those goals every month. Stacy, do you want to add anything before we end?
No, I think we should open it up for some questions. One thing, so I think Alicia and I basically put out the same message for our one-on-one coaching sessions, and they are a quick 25 minutes, but we can accomplish so much. Really, the idea behind it is not all of you are our personally sponsored brand partners, and we want to have those relationships with you and be able to work with you. And so that is a chance. I went through today the 2 business goals, 2 personal goals, and talked about Class A prospects, but it's also an opportunity if you want us to look over your numbers from the prior week and we can look at, okay, where did we struggle a little bit? Let's make our focus. Maybe we didn't do any personal development. What could we set as a goal together for our personal development for the next week? We are not here to be anyone's boss or teacher or anything. We really just want to be here as your mentors and as your friends to just help you have as much success in the business. And so if we critique or help you change your business goals, it's only based on what we have learned from Jenni over our time. When we first started setting our goals, I didn't understand that setting a goal that said, I'd like 2 new brand partners this month, that's not a measurable goal. At the end of the month, if I had 0 brand partners, I was going to be discouraged about it. So what does it take to get those brand partners? Well, that's where the 2 to 3 guests to an event or 2 to 3 3-way calls, setting a measurable goal to get to that end result that you want. So maybe at the end of the month, I didn't have 2 new brand partners, but maybe I did accomplish 2 3-way calls. I still hit my goal. So if you're not quite sure how to do that, we will do that together during the call and, to change your pace of what you want your goals to be. It's just to kind of help you focus a little bit differently on how to set those goals for yourself every single month.
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions specifically on the reporting or the tracking?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Next week, since you're going to be gone, are we having a call or not a call?
We are having a call.
Okay.
So you're going to go ahead and still report your numbers the way that you did today. We actually have Danielle Lytle. She's an ED on this team. She is going to take over the call for us. So she's going to do a little coaching with you. I'm super excited for you guys to hear her. She's a great leader within this organization, so I'm excited for you to hear her. But you're still going to report your numbers just the same. Who knows? We may make a surprise appearance. So I don't know. But yes, we are still going to meet next week. Okay. As of right now, the only one that we've determined that we will not meet on will be July 4th because that happens on Monday. So, yeah. So every other Monday we will meet through the next 90 days. Okay.
Okay. I had another question too. Is there somewhere on our Nerium site that we can see our NLC points?
Oh, wouldn't that be
Great question,
awesome?
Rose. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yes.
Because I'm like, I think I have them.
No,
I mean, I've been
there's
tracking.
supposed to be a tracker. It was supposed to be out at the end of July, according to Jenni Byrd, who has way more power than I have. And it's not updated. So there's a tracker in your back office for you personally. I highly encourage you to print it off and to keep track yourself. But we have been told by the end of this month that there should be a tracker, because it would be awesome for, leaders to be able to see who is not qualified and how many points away they are. So we're really hoping that comes soon. But yes, that would be awesome. We're working on it. So. Does anyone else have any questions at all?
I have a quick question. For the sit downs, if we have someone that doesn't live nearby or schedule doesn't work, does a scheduled sort of 3-way call, can that sort of, if we've already talked to them about the product or they've sampled and they're interested in the business, can a 3-way call count as a sit down is basically my question.
Or like a Zoom or something like that. Stacy, what do you say? I say yes. I think that happens.
Yes, I think that everything within this business, you have to go with your gut. If you feel like it was equivalent to a sit down, I mean, you cannot drive 500 miles to go have coffee with a friend who you want in the business. I would encourage you to maybe do Zoom. If you do a meeting for less than 30 minutes, it's a free account, it's a free online service. So I would encourage some of that, or even just kind of that conversation over the phone to get to that point. And that just leads into when you were looking at the numbers, please be sure when you're reporting, the whole idea behind tracking your events is not so much about attending the events, it's the guests. So it's going to be 0. If you attended a market party but didn't have a guest, you don't even need to report it. It's still 0. But maybe you didn't attend any parties and you had 3 sit downs over a time of 1 week. That counts. That's what you want to count, because sometimes those can be just as powerful or more powerful. Every prospect is different. And sometimes I find that those one-on-one opportunities to just deepen a relationship, talk to them, learn about their life, they're always going to turn around. When I make it about them, they're going to always ask me, what's going on with you? How are the kids? And that's just an opportunity for me to plant a Nerium seed without vomiting Nerium all over them.
Yes. And I want to second that, guys. I think I'm not discounting market parties and RRPs, because please don't ever think that. I think those are extremely, extremely powerful. But there are going to be prospects and there are going to be situations where sit downs can be just as powerful. I've built a lot of my brand partner prospects off of, doing sit downs with them, taking them from not knowing to becoming a Class A prospect. Okay. So yes, I would say for you, especially you, Lauren, because I know you are working really hard on Japan and clearly you're not going to drive to Japan right now. So I know you're getting ready to leave, but yes, for you especially, yes, Zooms would count.
Okay, one last question for me. If it gets crunch time and you start to freak out a little bit, like, oh, it's going to be a 65% month and I'm going to get kicked off, is there like an SOS? Can we email you before we have that moment of panic? Like, what do? I only have 3 days left and I'm not going to make it.
Well, I think this goes back to what Jenni was talking about, and having a good system of personal management. I'm just going to be honest.
Okay.
I know.
I
mean, it really just goes back to that, looking at what are your KPIs for this month. I mean, obviously we all know what they are. They're all the same for us. How might map that out, plan that out. Who reach out to people, schedule your sit downs or schedule, I sat today and scheduled 2 sit downs for immediately when I get back from Cancun. I did that now proactively instead of reactively getting back from Cancun and it's June 20th and I'm like, holy crap, I haven't done any sit downs or whatever, you know. So think proactive versus reactive. Guys, when you change that mindset to proactive versus reactive, it will completely change how you see these KPIs, how you see your month, and you won't worry about, oh, what if I only hit 65%? Okay, because if you're proactive, you're like, I'm going to hit 80%, I'm going to hit 90%, you know.
And keep in mind, you're going to track every single KPI individually. And so you might hit one of them at 100%, and you might, first month, you might bomb one of the KPIs and not accomplish anything with that. Like maybe you never get a guest to an event this month and you get a 0% in that category, but you're going to give yourself a percentage for each category, for each KPI, key performance indicator. And at the end of the month, you're going to take the average of those scores. So even if you got 100% in several categories and a 0, it's still going to average out to be on the safe side of over 70%. So, you know, and that's how David Byrd, I mean, they've built grace into the system. And for all of you out there who are teachers' pets and think you have to have 101% on everything, like Alicia is so true and so right that we are not going to celebrate your 71% or your 100% any differently. We're just going to be so thrilled that you're continuing on in the 90-day run.
Thanks.
I have one more question.
Sure.
Personal development, you said 5 times per week for at least 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What else would count? I mean, like if you listen to some type of motivational thing,
yes.
or what all counts for that?
You know, go ahead, say. I mean, I think we're going to say pretty much the same thing, but
absolutely anything. I mean, any good book that you're reading that's not just, you know, a love, you know, love story novel, any good book you're reading. I mean, there are some times that my personal development is my quiet time and devotional time because it's making me a better person. It's strengthening me. And so it can be, I have an app on my phone for Focus on the Family, and sometime when I'm driving, I'll listen to some professionals talk about parenting. I'll listen to people talk about being more organized in your life. So there are podcasts, there are CDs that come in your Success magazine. I have The Slight Edge on DVD or on disc, so I can listen to it in the car. So really, again, you know, we're not here to like set rules for everybody. Whatever is helping you develop as an individual. That's what we want you to do. We want you to spend time actively making that a goal, because some of us, like if I don't make exercise one of my goals with Jenny, exercise does not happen for me. So I have to set as one of my personal goals. I don't have to, I choose to with Jenny, because I know she's going to hold me accountable to it when I talk to her in July. And so I choose to do that. I give myself a range. So if I'm on the other end of the range, I'm still at 100%, but yeah, so.
Does that help at all, Rose?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it truly can be anything. A lot of us aren't readers. I mean, I'll admit, I was not a big reader up till 2 years ago. So if a podcast, listening to something, watching a YouTube video, or turning a YouTube on, there's great resources on YouTube and things like that. So, you know, turn something on while you're cooking dinner or whatever. You know, again, bridge it into your life. Don't revolve your life around it. Okay.
Hey, this is Christy, and it took me a while to figure out that there were CDs in the Success magazine.
Yeah.
I'm sure I bet I'm not the only one.
No, I know you're not. I so know you're not.
Those things are awesome because they have a whole bunch of different people all the time. So like Joel Osteen, or the last one has Guy Fieri from the cooking shows on it. Like there's all kinds of different people, which I find a lot of fun because I get bored listening to the same person all the time. Mm-hmm. And they're just right. Like I can put it in, and in my 15-minute drive somewhere, you can listen to like one section of it, and then I just turn it off until the next day or the next time I'm in the car. So I highly recommend those. And there was one recently that was really 2 months ago that was really fabulous about the 5-second rule. Don't hesitate. And it was awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. I do love those CDs. Does anyone else have any questions at all before we end this first amazing Zoom?
How do you do a sit down?
I think a lot of it just depends on, I mean, it's going to be a little different, and we can talk about this on your one-on-one, but, you know, if this is someone who you've never exposed to the business, I mean, you can just simply reach out to someone and say, hey, you know, we haven't caught up in a long time. How about we meet for coffee, or how about we meet for lunch? That can be your segue. Clearly, when you sit down with them, it's about building a relationship, guys. Don't be like freak of nature. I mean, truly just build a relationship with them. If you are genuine in your approach and you're genuine in your, you know, conversations, you're asking them, so what's going on? You know, build a relationship. What's been going on? What's new with you? They're going to, in turn, ask you the same thing. Miriam's going to come up. You've then exposed them. You know, hey, I happen to have a bottle that's coming back next week. Would you like to just try it and tell me what you think? You know, you don't have to be sales pitchy, guys. That was a very big misconception for me when I first started this. I've never sold anything. And so that was a big misconception. And when you really get into it and don't put so much pressure on yourself and don't put so much feel like you have to be sales pitchy. You just build this business naturally. I don't want it to make it sound easy, because it's not always easy. But when it comes to the relationship part of it, that should be easy. I mean, you should genuinely want to know what's going on with your friends, you know, what's going on with your family, what's new. So that's typically how I approach. I mean, one of my messages today was reaching out to two people I hadn't seen in a while, and said, hey, how about we sit down, bring the kids over. Why don't we have a play date and we can chat? Because she has been exposed to Nerium. She was a Class A prospect. And so I took the initiative proactively and reached out to her today and said, hey, why don't we do a play date? You bring the kids over, let's chat. I would love to share some more information with you and answer any questions that you have. She responded back, absolutely, that sounds like a great time. Okay, so it's going to vary a little bit, but it's all about, it really just goes back to being genuine and just meeting your friends for lunch. You know, meet your friends for coffee. So who doesn't love lunch with your kid not eating it and it's hot? I do. I should see a lot of hands. So, all right. So be real. Really. I know that sounds silly, but just really, it truly is. Just be real. Stacy, do you have anything to add to that?
No, sorry. I keep muting because it's pure mayhem at my house.
Oh, Mike, it's going to break open here in just a minute. So the
doorbell's ringing, the dog's barking, kids running around in their underwear.
Hunter. I only have one child right now. I don't know what this is like to only have one child at my house. So.
Hey, guys. It won't be this long most of the time. We just wanted to cover a lot of material and make sure we were all set to go. So.
Awesome.
If you haven't booked your sign up, please make sure you do that and get that scheduled so we make sure everybody gets that covered for June.
And I will try to figure out how to turn this Zoom into a YouTube video. Wish me luck, because I'm not tech savvy. And we will get this, I will try to get this posted tonight at some point. So, all right. All right. You guys have a great week. We won't talk to you for we'll talk to you on your one-on-ones, but we won't see you next week. Well, maybe. I hope you guys have a great week. I don't know what communication is going to be like there. We know they have Wi-Fi. I don't know how good it's going to be. If it's anything like the cruise, it was terrible. So there are, post questions on Facebook or on the Teammaker page. Someone will get you an answer. Again, I always say this to Stacey. She probably gets annoyed with my comment, but I was like, this is not life or death. It's healing, skincare, and brain health. So we will.
Who did I say that to on my one-on-one today? I said that to somebody. And I said, Alicia always says to me, this is not life or death. I did. Tammy, was it you?
Yeah, see, I say it all the time. Like, guys, this is not life or death. Nothing is that urgent or life-shattering, I promise. So, there will be someone around that will be able to get an answer for you. And if not, then we will handle it as soon as we get back. So, okay. You guys have a great week. Thank you so much for jumping on. I'm really excited about these next 90 days.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
You're very welcome.
Bye.